Everybody's dying. I have to figure that out. All right, this has been highly anticipated, and here it is, the release of Windows 10. It hits tomorrow night.
You may not want to handle the upgrade yourself. You're hardly alone. We've got the pictures to prove it. Let's compute this, everybody.
Thor Schrock owns Schrock Innovations. Good morning, Thor.
Good morning, guys. I got a good 8 hours of sleep last night. I made sure I went to bed early because I don't know when I'm going to sleep
again.
Well, you are gearing up for this release tomorrow night.
This is going to be nuts.
I've seen the lines.
Yeah, it is great. You know, there was an article that just came out this morning on zdnet.com, a really great tech blog. It's a good authority. If you don't know what ZDNet is, I mean, they're the top authority. Talking about this is the best Windows operating system that has been released in a decade from Microsoft. This is the guy that wrote the article is a Linux user. He's not a Windows user. He said, but you know, I have to use Windows at work. But you know, this is the first Windows operating system that you don't have to wait for the first service pack for it to be good.
Well, which I don't understand, because you would think they would get better as they go along.
Well, you know, and memories are short. If you think back to Windows 7 was a dog when it first came out. I mean, stuff wasn't compatible with it. It was blomming blue screen all the time. It really took them until Service Pack 3 to get Windows 7, you know, nailed down. Windows 10 out of the boxes. I mean, we're already running it in a production environment at our stores.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
You're a Mac user. You won't see anything.
Here's my thing, Thor. I'm a regular user. I don't understand a lot of the stuff that you talk about. I try so hard to follow it, but it's hard for me because I'm like, I don't even know what these words mean. What does Windows 10 mean to me? Okay. And then my second part to that question is, when tomorrow night comes, how do I know if what I'm doing is the right way to go about the upgrade?
Sure. Well, what Windows 10 means to the average person is tomorrow night at 12:01 a.m., which is technically Wednesday morning, but you know, let's not split hairs. Your computer will eventually automatically upgrade to Windows 10 if you're running Windows 7 or Windows 8. Now, we saw an automatic upgrade before with Windows 8 to 8.1. Windows 8 was a dog. Windows 8.1 fixed a bunch of the stuff. So we saw this automatic upgrade. About 20% of the computers, though, when they tried to automatically upgrade, failed for some reason. And those failures resulted in you having to bring it into the shop for repair bills or for, you know, even complete data loss. Like, where are all my pictures? They're gone. So yeah, all those pictures of you at the park with your family, guess you're going to have to go to the park, and Lenoha is torn up right now, so you're just in trouble. We tried to go out there to do some pictures the other day, and I was like, I think they're remodeling. So yeah, you don't go out there. But basically, the bottom line is Windows 10 is amazing because it brings back all the stuff Windows 8 took away. You get your start menu back. Windows 7 had the best backup software built right into it. The Windows image backup, you get that back in Windows 10 now. You know, you get back all these little things, plus you get an amazing, I talked to a guy who's been using a Windows phone for months now. And he said, I've done side-by-side tests with Cortana, the digital voice assistant for Microsoft, and Siri, the one for Apple. Side-by-side, ask them the same question. Half the time Siri doesn't get it, Cortana nails it every time. Their voice recognition is off the chart for Cortana.
That's cool.
So, I mean, it's going to be really, I mean, this is like a Star Trek computer right here. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for.
But you've got to get it, you got to get it done correctly, otherwise you risk losing all of those files. So how do you know if you're in the safe group or the danger group?
That's the trouble. You don't know until you pull the trigger. It's kind of like a digital Russian roulette, you know?
Yeah.
So basically, we have a guide on our website at SchrockInnovations.com called the Definitive Guide to the Windows 10 Upgrade. And it gives you a set of steps if you're going to do this at home. So ladies, if your husband wants you to do this at home, have him check the guide first. And if he is not comfortable doing any of the steps in that guide, you should probably bring it in so that we can do it. We're running a special for $99 where we do all the pre-installation checks. We can even do an optional backup of your hard drive to make sure you're okay before we do the upgrade. And it's all $99, flat rate.
People have already been dropping computers off at your locations, two in the metro, one down in Lincoln as well. And I think we've got some pictures here. When should people start dropping these off? What time of day is best? Because you've got lines that have been wrapping around buildings.
Yes, so what you're looking at here, these are the people who can bring their computers in 4 days before the upgrade and not miss them. That's not the majority of people. The majority of people need their computers. So what we're going to see happen on the 28th, which is tomorrow, we're going to see lines that make those lines look like a joke. Literally, they will look like a joke. So here's the thing, you know, in the morning, we're always very busy at the service centers. 10 a.m., we get punched. There's a line waiting for us when we open the door. Right now, there is a line outside the Lincoln Service Center while we are broadcasting. Right now. And we don't open till 10. So 10 o'clock is probably not the best time to come in. Between noon and 4 is when we usually see an ebb, and we process through that morning rush, and it's before the after work rush comes in.
Yeah.
So noon and 4 is a good time. But here's the thing, guys. We've checked in 400 computers so far just this weekend. We expect 1,000. To give you an idea of how that breaks down, at each service center, assuming it's all distributed evenly, which it won't be. Lincoln's going to get hit harder than Omaha or Papillion because we've been there longer. But assuming it's all distributed equally, it's going to take 11 hours to check everybody in. And that's if all of my employees are up front checking people in, nobody answering phones, nobody working in the back. And we're only open that day for 10 hours. So the bottom line is, if you really want to beat the line, bring it in today.
Are you going to have time to
today.
work on all these computers with all these check-ins?
Well, the beautiful thing is we technically can't do much with them until the 29th because Windows 10 doesn't come out. But you know what we're seeing is almost everybody wants the backup.
Yeah.
Recovery media, you got to have a recovery drive.
That's the whole thing.
And so everybody wants the recovery drive, and a lot of people want the optional microphone, especially if you have a desktop. You don't have a microphone.
For
so
Cortana.
Yeah, if you want to play with Cortana, you need a microphone, and they're $13. We didn't go out and get you like a $50 microphone or anything. Just a simple, cheap microphone. You can try it out. If you like it, you can buy a better one, or the one we're selling is perfectly capable. So what's going to happen is right now when we have those ebbs in the check-in, we're starting to do backups. We're starting to do the prerequisite work to make sure the computers are ready to go.
That's a great question. Should customers should they do backups at home before they bring their PCs in to see you?
Yeah, this is part of that definitive guide. If you can do a backup at home, number one, do it. If you've never done a backup at home before, you should do one. Never going to hear me tell you have too many backups, but if you do a backup at home, don't just assume your backup is good. Check it. Make sure it's good.
Well,
now, if you don't know if it's good, you don't want to mess with it, we have an optional thing for $50. We'll do a backup before the upgrade in the shop, so that way if something goes wrong, we can restore your backup.
Yeah.
Let's show you this information because, well, it's important. We're talking about Windows 10.
You're going to want to go to these places.
You got to know where to go. Omaha, the address is there. We'll show you Papillion and Lincoln as well. And then online at SchrockInnovations.com to look for that guide in case you want to try it yourself or just wrap your head around how to get your computer ready to go for tomorrow night. Thor, thanks for being here.
I'll be in all 3 shops today. Not simultaneously. I'm not that good. But I'll be in all 3 shops today, so you might catch me today.
We'll see you next week with bags down to your feet.
It may be a pre-record. It may be like a previous segment. We'll just run something about
but
your security on your computer is important.
Thanks, Thor.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Can't wait to get the updates. All right, we had our picture taken with Ed Sheeran, the singer, right? I don't really remember this because there's this online tool that allows you to fake it.
First, what to do tomorrow, where Lindsay Thies is taking us on this 6th and final installment.